Hello, I'm Terry, 2E0IPK. I made a video some years ago, probably about 2017, something like that. It was a little while back. And in that video, I was talking about people getting their foundation license, which this is still about a foundation license because certain things have changed over the years. I mean, first of all, you don't have to take practicals anymore. Secondly, on that as well, is the fact that it's all done online. Everything is done online. And during the pandemic, I was talking to a person on DMR, and he said that he'd not long got his license because he wanted to talk to people, you know, while the pandemic was on. And I thought, well, you know, you can't argue with his reasoning there at all. I mean, it's ideal. When I made the last book, I never made a book in my life. When I made the last video, I didn't have my book handy. This is the one that what was used then. Pretty bad English, isn't it? What was used then, but anyway, this is the one that was used then. And since then, we've had a new syllabus. So now we actually use this one, and there are updates to this as well. I think already out and about. But anyway, this is the book that is used nowadays, and it's pretty good actually. I've got to say, it's very informative, very informative, and you know uh, as I say, that's the one we're using at the moment, and that's great. That's great to do. There are reasons to get your license. I mean, you know, I mean, not everyone can afford a HF radio. You know, HF radio. Not everyone can do that, and but you can talk to the world still, just the same. When I was thinking about becoming a ham, excuse me, um, we were sitting talking indoors, me and my daughter, and and I was showing her these DMR radios, and there was one called the TYT MD380, and they had a Retovis RT3, which was like a clone of it's basically the same thing, exactly the same thing. So we got one of them, and I see people have put code plugs on there, and it said about like DMR, it'd be worldwide and Europe and all. And I actually thought pretty silly, really. But I thought, okay, well, fair enough. I mean, they obviously got European or world repeaters in there. So if you go somewhere else, if you're a full licensee anyway, because you can't do that as what I am intermediate, and you can't do it as a foundation license, but you can use your radio abroad if you're a full licensee. Anyway, I was looking at that, and I thought that'd be nice, though, wouldn't it? You know, if you could use it there. Unbeknownst to me, worldwide meant the talk group, so you could actually talk to anybody in the world. Got to get your license, obviously. I mean, that's a given. But you could talk to anybody in the world, all over the world. There's loads and loads and loads of people there on there, and you know, and that's DMR. I've also got a D Star radio, which are more expensive, I've got to say, because I've got the Kenwood THD 74, and mainly it was Kenwood who just did the. I think it's the one model. I'm not sure if they could. I might be wrong on that, but they do THD 74, and all the rest of the D Star are Icon, which are good radios. I've got to say they are absolutely brilliant radios. And but they're D Star, and they are expensive though. They really are expensive. The ID52, which is one of the latest ones, is into the £500 mark, so they're not cheap. And then you have System Fusion, which I tend to think is clearer than both of the other two, but it's personal taste, obviously. And the I've got the Yaesu FT70, which is a cheap the cheap or the entry level handheld, and that gets me onto System Fusion easily. And so I use all of these. But when I was talking to that man and he said about he'd got it during the pandemic, I thought, yeah, what a great way to go. And for me, it didn't stop when I joined, because I thought I've got me M6, I'll keep to my M6, and I won't move on. Nah, weren't going to happen. I then got my intermediate, and that was the first one. And now they use this book, intermediate license, and I I took the older one. Excuse me, I took the older one and not this one. But again, it's a good way forward. And I like the science of the hobby, not just talking to me. I'm a listener anyway, more than anything. But I like the science. I like to know about propagation and all that, and all these other things. And and I've got different types of equipment through the hobby, and Raspberry Pis, and I mean, I've even got a Raspberry Pi on my hotspot for my digital radios. So I mean, it's a Pi Zero, but it's still a Raspberry Pi. We still have to use it, although it's all built in anyway. And now I'm hoping to go for the full. I've got all the books, so I've also got information in these that I will need. So I've got the all the reference data and all of that. So that's all in there ready for me. And it all came from, as I say, the when I took that foundation, I just got more and more into it. I really like what I was seeing, and anyone can be like that. If I can do it, anyone can do it. To be honest with you, really. I mean, I've had the interest. I've had the interest since I was about 14. But it's just something that I think anybody can get into. You've got to have the interest, though. You must have the interest. I've got all these radios. I must have indoors. I must have about 12 or 13 radios. And if anything happened to me, my daughter would just out the lot. She'd get rid of them. She'd get in touch with Martin Lynch or his people and get them in their boxes, and off they go. She's got no interest in it at all. It's only me. And that's one of those things. Once you're licensed, or even before you get licensed, then may consider might be good for you to consider joining the RSGB. They've got loads and loads of information. They even send you a member's handbook when you join. This one's a bit old now. I don't know if they still do it. I mean, but this is worthwhile having. Even the book, little book they've got. Loads of books, haven't I? So yeah, I mean, it's got to be worth something to go out there and just join a club, even if there are clubs around. And as I say, once you get into it, I mean, I don't know about everybody, but once I started, as I say, I weren't going to go any further than the foundation. I got to the intermediate, and I thought, nah, don't really want to go any further. But this year, I'm hoping to join the Bath-based distance learning course, which is in August. I think they enrol from June. I think that's when I'm going to Friedrichshafen, but I'll probably enroll when I get back. And that's the way I'm going to go forward with mine. But for somebody who wants to get into the hobby, then it's a great hobby to get into, and you meet so many nice people, and it's worth doing. I've been licensed now for quite a while, and I still enjoy it. I still enjoy it as day one. I love going out portable. I've got a Yaesu FT891 that I take out portable. I've got a portable end-fed half wave I take out with me. I've got a buddy stick I take out with me. Actually, there was a video for the buddy stick I've done prior. And also, I take out a super antenna, one with the ground spike, put that in there. So it's all worth doing. And as I say, if you want to take up the foundation, the best thing that you could do, if you really wanted to, go to hamtrain.co.uk. That's run by Essex Ham, and it's a great course. I went through it myself, and you want any help, you know, they are there to help you from day one to the time that you pass. And in fact, even after you pass, you've only got to email and you will get a reply. The information never stops. And why not? Why shouldn't, you know? I mean, Peter does a lovely job of that, and you know, and he's there for you, whatever you want to do, whatever you know, way you wish to go with anything. He will give you advice. So anyway, take care. My next video, I think, I might be about the Nano VNA, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. It might be VNA, or could be anything. Okay, catch you later, and 73 to everyone. Take care.